Racing taking place out at the Big T on Saturday, and we've got 9 races on the program. Racing on the Turffontein in Standside track. Race number 1, 12:05 is the off time, and we begin with a maiden plate of 1160 meters. Joining me on the line is Alistair Cohn. Alistair, how are you doing?
Yeah, good. Thanks, Raheel. Got me with a little bit of flu. It's obviously Women's Day on the 9th of August. So to all the women out there that make the world go around, happy Women's Day from all of us in the racing fraternity. Some races named after some women trainers and those that are associated with the game. So I think it's always a month where we honour the ladies that do so much for us. And I hope that everyone has a good day at the races on Saturday at Turffontein. I don't think it's the most straightforward. Got a couple of races where I think we can narrow it down and go light and maybe bank a 1 or 2, but there are a few races where I think we could be looking for some results. So an interesting card.
Yeah, let's see if the lady trainers can have a few winners on the day. Race number 1, Clever Trevor, your favourite here, trading at 46 to 100, deep in the red. Number 2, Actuary at 7 to 1, along with the Midnight Flyer, Trip to Peace. It's in 10 to 1 and better ball those. Now this 3-year-old son of Socrat, he put in a very nice run on debut when second to Rifle Queen, another first timer. And that was a filly that he ran second to. He would have no doubt come on with that run under the belt, Alistair. And I would have thought they may have stepped him up in trip, but he goes 1160 once again. And when you have a look at this field, from the form runners at least, he sets a good standard.
Yeah, not much form to work with the exception of number 7, Trip to Peace. The Cox will have a good line, 2.5 lengths to Big Joe, who was seriously eye-catching when he won. But the other race runners don't inspire too much confidence. Clever Trevor, prohibitive odds, looks a hard horse to beat. There was a lot of money about Rifle Queen when she made her debut. I think the 2.5 kilo clave, and also just that natural speed that Rifle Queen probably has that Clever Trevor doesn't have in the locker, probably just turned him over on that occasion. He'll learn plenty with a run under the belt. Mike and Matthew de Kock train. Callum Murray back on board for Hollywood Racing. He'll be a very, very tough nut to crack. It'll take a good first timer to beat number 3, Clever Trevor. There is a little whisper out about Lucky Hoodalakis' runner though. Number 5, Midnight Flyer. I don't know to what extent and how confident they are about number 5, Midnight Flyer, but I do believe that he is quite nice, the son of Water Winter. But I think that the expectations are let him come on with a run under the belt and take it from here. So it might just be a name to put in the back of your mind for next time, number 5, Midnight Flyer. Hard to beat number 3, Clever Trevor. I don't see any dangers, and he should get your day off to a winning start at very, very short odds. Not my play to be including them until Alter comes, but if you think he'll win, that's the price you've got to take.
Moving on to race number 2, which will be the start of the Jackpot. 12:40 is the off time. Maiden plate for fillies and mares, set to be run over 1160 meter trip, and we've got another odds-on favourite here. Number 6, Quiet Winter, from even money into 8 to 10. This is from the Lucky Hoodalakis yard. Craig Zaki takes a ride. 33 to 10, Perfect Miracle. It's then 7 to 1 and better ball those. Now this filly did run 4th last time out when beaten favourite, and a debut run was a pleasing effort back in 3rd. Form line of her last start has certainly worked out. And yeah, Alistair, how do you think she's going to go? Banker in leg 1 of the Jackpot?
I think so, unless there's a push for one of the first timers come race time. I reckon this will be hard to beat. Raheel, number 6, Quiet Winter, does come back from a layoff, but there's speed and more speed in this family. As you mentioned, the form line of the last run behind Captain Salvi has worked out nicely with 2 direct winners, but it doesn't necessarily stop there. I'll get to that in just a moment. But Lucky's yard has been a little bit quiet over the last few months, but he is a top trainer. It's a matter of time before things come bouncing back. Captain Salvi came out and ran second. 8 Hats came out and won. The 3rd horse, Summer Winter, has come out and won, but Untia finally won, although well beaten on that occasion. And then there's a horse who ran 5th called Desert Cloud, who's a short price favourite at Fairview on Friday. So that could spark up the form line even further behind Captain Salvi. The fact that she's been off for a while, number 6, Quiet Winter, probably the time off to mature will do her a world of good as well. So I expect that there'll be no ill effects coming off a layoff, and if she doesn't win, I can't see her missing the top 2. Just going into this Tony Peter runner, this daughter of Hawam, called Perfect Miracle. This is a half-sister to a horse called Life on Mars, a son of Global View, who won 6 times for Gavin Smith, but the rest of the family has done sweet little. Nothing else to get excited about. In fact, the others were all maidens that didn't win races. So the daughter of Hawam is the fifth progeny, the fifth offspring out of Freddie's sister. Just looking at the Hawams and how they've started off life, I think they are going to be three-year-olds. And I think they are going to come into their own over further. So that would lead me down the track of thinking I'd be quite surprised if she were to turn over an out-and-out speedball like number 6, Quiet Winter. So hard horse to beat, no word on the street for any of the first-timers here. One lost for words, could kick on from that pleasing debut behind Just Reckless, but has been off for a year and a half, so fitness to be taken on trust. I think we're looking for spooks if we try to beat number 6, Quiet Winter, to be honest.
Moving along to race number 3, start off the place accumulator. 1:15 is the off-time maiden plate, set to be around over the 2,000 meter trip. And we've got another odds-on favourite here, number 10, Scarlet Heart, from 13 to 10, has shortened all the while into 9 to 10. Follow the Master at 2 to 1, it is then 8 to 1. And better bar those. Alistair, this was Follow the Master. I mean, he just needs to reproduce that run to Inflame and he'll probably win in this lineup. However, he does have to concede way to the filly, trying the trip for the first time. And then I think number 9, Future Success, could be a massive improver at 10 to 1 going over this trip for the first time.
Right here, we read the race exactly the same way. I bank in number 1, Follow the Master, in my place accumulator, which is my suggested bet. This is a full brother to Atticus Finch, winner of the Betway Summer Cup over this course and distance. He was outrun by Inflame at his penultimate start. Inflame has run second and won since. Last time over 2,400 metres, he threw the kitchen sink, but he just didn't have an answer for a horse with 49 kilos in the closing stages. Now, hopefully he has an answer for a better horse with 52.5 kilos on her back in the 4 number 10 Scarlet Heart. But I have a big question mark about her going over this trip. It wouldn't be past the realms of possibility that the excellent jockeys that have ridden her have told Fanny Broncos that she'll come into her own over further. So I'll kick for touch and say that I'd happily be proven wrong and take the jockey's word and the jockey's advice. You make mention that if Follow the Master repeats that run to Inflame, he'll be hard to beat. I think if Scarlet Heart repeats the run to Another Dream, who hasn't looked back, then you can make the same statement about this daughter of Quirari. But I'm just a little bit skeptical over 2,000 metres, whereas I know number 1, Follow the Master, will have absolutely no issue. So that's why banking number 1, Follow the Master in the place accumulator. Not an absolute good thing to win the race, but he shouldn't miss the top 3. And then number 9, Future Success. The further she goes, the better. This daughter of Futura, she caught the eye last time under Raymond Danielson. I know that she was well beaten by Merriweather. The first 2 past the post were well clear of the rest of the field, but she has made up a bit of ground in her 2 starts to date. She looks like she's going to develop into a nice out-and-out stay, and going this trip for the first time might unlock further improvement. I think that'll be the first 3 home. But in order of preference, 1, 10 and 9. But I think it'll be quite fiercely contested, if I'm honest.
Yeah, could be a nice race to play an exacta, especially if number 9 were to pop up for that first or second position. Could give those dividends a bit of a boost. Race number 4, next up, Fillies and Mares 82 divided handicap, and this is set to be around over 2,000 metres. 13.50 is the off time. We've got joint favourites here, both at 4 to 1, Teo Toriate and Wagram. It's 9 to 2, Azaleas for All. Art Nouveau, 6 to 1, Free in Seattle. It's 8 to 1 and better bar those. Now, 3 of these horses met last time out when behind Teo Toriate. And when you have a look at the weights, Alistair, off that run, Wagram is set to get a lot closer. And Teo Toriate, who on that run should confirm the form with Art Nouveau.
Very, very trappy race, this Raheel. You spot on Wagram by virtue of the 4 kilo claim of Garisha Mobertia, who had a winner on Thursday, is better off with those who are in front, Art Nouveau and Territoriata. If you go to the 19th of June, Wagram, although returning blowing behind Anne with an E, Free in Seattle has a cold at the weights, or not cold at the weights, but should maintain that form. And even going further back, when you go to the 15th of May, Wagram finished 3 1/4 lengths behind Azaleas for All, and comes in here better off at the weights, the tune of nearly 10 kilograms. So that's going to make her a big chance, number 7 Wagram. But I think that she's just under-delivered a little bit, this daughter. Give me the green light. I think she's a little bit better than her overall form suggests. So although in the first leg of the pick six I would be throwing her in, I'm just looking to elbow her out of the place accumulator, funny enough. This is why. 2, 4, and 5 are my numbers. A free tip. Follow everything that St. John Gray sends out for the next couple of months on the Highveld. I've seen a big swing in the form of his horses. That consistency is now starting to turn into wins. And then number 4, Free in Seattle, represents a horse that's very, very dangerous in the first leg of the pick six at a price of around 6-1. That's the filly that I'm going to lean towards. I think going 2,000 metres again, a distance that she's not missed the top 4 in, is likely to suit her nicely. And if the pace is on, which it should be with Toriata in the race with Polisi and Buta now claiming 2.5, just take note of that. She could be doing her best weight late, number 4, Free in Seattle. And I think that she will be in the top 3 at worst. And I think she's got a winning chance. Number 2, Key Worker, got given a penalty for a fair run in the Tote Oaks at Hollywoodbets Scottsville last time out. I have no idea the reasoning for going to that race, because she looked a little bit outgunned by horses that were rated in the 110s and in that type of region. But anyway, she did not disgrace herself. She could be in for a nice campaign as a 4-year-old. This daughter, give me the green light. It was good to have Stuart Pettigrew's yard back in form last week when he had a winner, and I think that hopefully that'll open the floodgates for a man who's excellent trainer. And then number 5, Azalea's 4. I did not like her 1 bit over a mile last time. It was a good run back over 2,000 metres. That's her sweet spot. Moosey's on board, and I've got a lot of time for her as well. So 2, 4, and 5 are my numbers. I am aware that 6 and 7 and number 3 are very much in the conversation as well, and even number 9, Coffeeberry, who I debated putting into the play. But from a PA perspective, this is the type of race where you want to survive, and I think that Free in Seattle is the key horse when it comes to PAs and trifectas and swingers.
Yeah, numbers 3 and 7, if you can beat them out of the top 3, your tickets are going to be falling over. And Alistair has tipped up at 8-1 shot, a 6-1 shot, and a 9-2 shot as his top 3 choices here in race number 4. Moving along to race number 5, this is an MR66 handicap, 1800 meters a trip, and it is a start of Jackpot 1, 25 past 2, the off time. Favorite number 2, Storm Ahead at 18-10. Number 8, Bobley Swagger at 28-10. Number 4, Gamer is a 7-2 shot. It is 5-1 instant attraction, and then you can get 8-1 and better about the balance. Alistair, what do you make of this contest here? This horse, Storm Ahead, was well supported last time out to beat Dual Prophecy, but he was a clear second best that day.
I think a 2-horse race between 2, Storm Ahead, and 4, Gamer. I've banked Gamer in the place accumulator, but if number 2, Storm Ahead, were to win this race, I would not be surprised 1 bit. Although winning comes at a premium for the son of Rafif, he's banging at the door. He tried a 1.5 miles last time. I don't think they'll be trying a 1.5 miles again. I think 2,000 metres is the absolute maximum. 1,800 metres probably his right trip. His only win came over this distance, and a number of his places came over this trip as well. He ran out of puff last time out. Samango Kamalo is back on board for Fani Broncos. Like I said about St. John Gray, Fani generally comes well this time of year, so I think that number 2, Storm Ahead, could very much be in the play this time around. And then with regard to number 4, Gamer, wherever one is, the other should be right there. Storm Ahead just going to a run on the 12th of April, that was a long time ago, over this course and distance. Storm Ahead had a 4-kilo claimer, a very green 4-kilo claimer at the time. Gamer finished just behind, and there's a very strong swing at the weights in favour of Gamer. They have met again on the 29th of May, where Gamer finished in front of Storm Ahead, and they should finish pretty much alongside each other, and again on the 12th of July. So wherever one is, the other should be right there. Bobley Swagger coming off a layoff, going 1,800 metres for the first time back from a rest. I think that's biting off a little bit more than he can chew. So I'm comfortable with the 2 horses as winning chances, but I'm leaning towards number 4, Gamer, just to get the edge over number 2, Storm Ahead.
Yeah, 4 from 2 in race number 5. Moving along to race number 6 next up. The 6th race will be the start of Jackpot 2. This is a classified stakes over 1,600 meters. 3 o'clock is the off time. After hours, Clarkson, joint favourites here at 7-2. It is 9-2 about Viva de Janeiro. Johnny Drama at 6-1 along with Laughin' William Last Ginger. And then it is 8-1 and better about the bottom few. This was after hours. Yeah, it was just Pierce Trader Magic last time out to get this horse home. And that was Pierre's last winner as he hung up his boots, Alistair.
Absolute genius, right? I think the whole country was watching Striker closely on that day at the VAR, hoping that he'd bow out with a bang. And what a vintage way for him to bow out as well. Getting after hours home, looked was certainly headed at the 400, looked beaten at the 400, looked like not a place. And he got after hours to lift in the closing stages and keep Lebetu at arm's length. It was just beautiful to watch. Pilasande Mpoli takes over, and he's struck up an interestingly and sort of unexpected partnership with Sinja and Gray. I wouldn't imagine that they say too much to each other, but they seem to get on well with Saddle and Trainer. And for that reason, on the back of a £3 penalty of the last one, there's no reason to think that he can't do it again. 1,600 metres might be at the top end. He's won over the 444, but might be at the top end for number 3 after hours. But can't knock a horse and can't knock a yard. That looks like it's in very good form. 2 and 4, the backup. Number 4, Clarkson. Great to see him back in form. Lovely horse. Last time out, when beating Viva de Janeiro, he's got a bit more to beat this time around. Obviously, having run an MR70 and now going into a classified stakes. But he's more than capable, number 4, Clarkson. He'll go well now that his confidence is up again and getting that next win under the belt. He's a legend as a horse. And then number 2, Laughing William. Not the most consistent around. It was a 1,400 from draw 1. Be very confident that he'll go well, but when he does decide to run a good race, he can be dangerous. He's absolutely thrashed After Hours before, but by the same token, After Hours has given him something to think about and a bloody nose in the past. So After Hours and Laughing William should be little to choose between them. They both got the same type of query about them over the distance. So 2, 3 and 4, I think we'll be okay. In the pick 6, you might want to spread your wings a little wider. Viva de Janeiro has every right of going close to Clarkson, so that could be one alternative and one piece of backup in the pick 6.
Perhaps 3 horses to play around there in race number 6 with the addition of one more. Race number 7 next up, and this is over 1,400 meters. It's an MR84 handicap. Favorite here is number 1, Birthright at 3-1. Press On Regardless at 4-1, along with Phil the Fluter. 6-1, Willow Express. 7-1, Coming In Hot. And then it is 8-1 and Better Balzo. So this was Birthright. He won a good race last time out, beating Prime Venture. Did go up 5 points for that success. Then you've got this horse, Press On Regardless, who's in good form at the moment. He runs very well over course and distance, either wins or runs second. And yeah, then you've got this horse, Willow Express, who's seldom too far off the action. And with the 4 kgs off the back, if he's given the right type of ride, he's a horse that can certainly pop up.
Yeah, well, let's start with Willow Express. There's a lot I want to talk about in this race. Let's start with Willow Express. He, as you say, needs a certain type of ride. He'll never get Pierre Stradham's ride again, but I think he needs that quiet, balanced ride to keep him quiet as long as possible. Girish Semo-Bertia, despite the remarkable improvements he's made in the last month or so, this is really going to test his wits, because Willow Express at the 600 looks like he's ready to go, and he can go at the 600, but the thing is he's dead at the 500 if you send him that early. So he's going to have to sit still on number 3, Willow Express, and send him. Been a great servant for Sean Terry. He's an equine millionaire. He's been around the block for such a long time. He's likely to be in and around the money, but I'd hesitate having a bet on him just with the fact that we've got a new apprentice on board and he needs a certain type of rider. If it was one of those quiet jockeys, a Craig Zaki, a Calvin Habib, one of those guys, even Cabello Matsanyani, who have sat on the Son of Willow Magic recently, who just keeps them together, keeps them balanced and can time things, and don't necessarily need to be so trigger happy from the saddle, then I'd be a little bit more confident about number 3, Willow Express, but we could literally get anything with the Son of Willow Magic and with Girish Semo-Bertia on board. Then number 1, Birthright. You have those certain horses on rotation that you have the needle towards. This is the horse that I've got the needle towards. I promise you, right here, I was so close to... I knew this horse was going to pop up one of these days, but I thought over a mile, I'll give him one more chance until he drops back, either to a sprint to a 1,400, and he pops up over a mile. So... out of pure spite, I've left him out. Number 1, Birthright. If he comes out and wins, do not speak to me afterwards. And I know Calvin watches this show, so I'm sure he'll have something to say. Number 1, Birthright, word to pop up. I'll bank you number 2, Press On Regardless. I think if he doesn't win, he'll go very close. Craig Zaki takes him out for David Nevenhuizen. Earlier in the year, he ran a quarter of a length to Hotter Ruby when he ran to a rating, and although Hotter Ruby he was dropping in rating at the time and continues to plummet down the ratings, he ran to something like 105 or something on that occasion, and David Nevenhuizen placed him cleverly to get him in form and running in the right races. Penultimate start return, not striding out, came back with no ill effects last time out when finishing second behind Open Highway. Craig rode a double for David Nevenhuizen just a week earlier. I think number 2 Press On Regardless is the most solid horse on the race. I don't think he'll miss the top 3, but there are a few winning chances outside of him. Just with regard to number 8 Bloomington, there's a horse to keep an eye on, but just not on the stand side track. He's done me a lot of favours, but he is definitely better on the tight turns of the inside track. So not this time, but the stand side track will be closing for a while soon, and I think there'll be races for Bloomington to win in the not so distant future.
Yeah, and he's been dropping in the ratings quite nicely, number 8 Bloomington, so I want to keep an eye on. Moving along to race number 8 next up, and the 8th race on the program, set to be run over 1160 meters, 4:4, the off-time classified stakes. Western Wishes is your favorite here at 5-2, 3-1 Sunset Warrior, 4-1 Maverick Queen, Unicorn Alert at 5-1, it's then 7-1 and Better Ball those. Western Wishes does return off a layoff, was in good form prior to the rest when finishing 4th and then 3rd, and the informed Mkolisi Mbuto takes ride. Certainly a horse that's going to go well here, and this horse, Sunset Warrior, he could certainly show big improvement now, a 3-year-old, and especially in a race of this nature.
Yeah, he's got something about him, Raheel, this Sunset Warrior. Going to his last run, he was beaten by Got The Feeling. My feeling of that form line is that although Got The Feeling was a bit of a surprise on that occasion, top division, the horse who ran second held in high regard, and the third horse, Alpha World, the day he goes a mile, I'll be lining up the troops. So I think that form line ultimately is going to work out nicely. I think sort of the straight Turffontein's also likely to help him out. He just seems that little bit better down the straight. I think he bit off more than he could chew at his penultimate start, to be fair, against older opposition over 1,500 metres at the Val, but I can see number 4, Sunset Warrior, going very well. I'm surprised number 5, Western Wishes, is the favourite, coming off a layoff. She does her best very late. She'll be flashing up late, but she's 6 now. Not that I'm against older horses, but when they mares and they come off a break, let's hope she's fresh enough to run her best type of race. But I'm leaving her out on this occasion. Raheel, this is actually a bit of a weird one, because the best horse in the race by an absolute country mile, and it's not even close, is number 2, Unicorn Alert. If this horse puts in 80% of his capabilities, and something that he hasn't done for a while, to be fair, when with Justin Statham in the Western Cape, but 80% of his capabilities, I don't care if he's sprinting, this won't be a contest. So he's the horse that I'm going to lean towards, but I just hope that the change of scenery and moving to Yahan, that he can bring his best, number 2, Unicorn Alert. He's a mile better than a 73, and he's a mile better than a one-time winner from 18 starts. If you had told me 2 years ago that this horse would have this return up at Johan Janssen van Vuren's yard with this record, I would have thought impossible. But here we are. Facts are facts. Let's see how he goes in his first run. If he rocked up and won by a furlong, I would not be surprised at all. And then the other one, number 8, Oriental Bouquet. I'm running out of patience, but with 50.5, one more chance for Oriental Bouquet. 4 winners from that last form line: Global Thunder, who ran another nice race on Thursday, Time for Charity, Valley Ava, Saigon Susie have all come out and won. World Heritage, who was beaten out of sight, came out and ran second. That is a very, very strong piece of form that Oriental Bouquet brings in. She obviously has demons at the start, so she's got to get out on terms. If she does, with 50.5, pass up.
That is race number 8. Moving along to race number 9, final race on the day, and this is an MR100 handicap to end of proceedings, 1160 meters the trip, 1650 the off time. Blizzard Snow favorite here at 18-10. Warm Winter Night 33-10. One Fell Swoop 7-2. 10-1 and Better Ball though. So there's some nice horses taking their place in this contest, and this improving filly Blizzard Snow won a nice race last time out, beating Flight of the Condor, gone up to 3 points for that. Gets weight off the back once again, which is certainly going to be very, very beneficial. Alistair, is it as sort of straightforward as the market may suggest?
No, I think this is a field race. If there is a field race on the card, this is it. Although there's some races where you have to go wide. I looked at this race. I'm not going to dwell too much. I've changed my selections plenty times. I've ended up on 1, 5, and 6 in the place accumulator as a matter of survival, hoping that one of those, and hopefully 2, if we're lucky, 3 horses can run into the top 3, but there's no way that I can put a line through any of these. As you say, Blizzard Snow rapidly improving, won a good race last time, was a gallant win, could be very well placed again with a 2.5 kilo claimer on the back. She's a live chance. Halberdier, I was very, very close to putting in, been on my radar for a while. Keratila Kachedi rides the son of New Predator well, who's now owned by Mary Slack's Wilferbos Drift team after the sad passing of former owner Barry Murray. Billy, I'm sure, would love to do nothing more than to give Mary a winner for her gesture here. He's got a legitimate chance on form lines as well as Halberdier. Roll with the punches on a fast track is dangerous. It's a rough end to the card. 1, 5, and 6, as I mentioned, they're the 3 horses that I put into the place accumulator, and just dodging bullets, to be honest, in the final race, because anything can happen here. Nothing would surprise me.
1, 5, and 6. Passage of Power, 12 to 1. Could be the value there. Horse number 5. We're going to move along to the suggested bet now. Alistair will take us through his suggested bet for racing on Saturday out at the Big T with 9 races on the program. Race number 1 gets underway at 12:05. Alistair, take it away.
I expect the pools will be fair, so have a look at the totes and see what's cutting and take advantage of what could be better than average numbers. PA starts at 1:15. Banker number 1, Follow the Master. About 2, 4, and 5. Key Worker, Free in Seattle, and Azaleas for All. But Banker 4, Gamer. That's the race where I think in the pick 6 you can hold to 2 horses, 2 and 4. About 2, 3, and 4, Laughing William, After Hours, and Clarkson. But Banker 2, Press On Regardless. Then the penultimate leg, 2, 4, and 8, Unicorn Alert, Sunset Warrior, and Oriental Bouquet, and 1, 5, and 6, Red Bomber, Passage of Power, and Woman Tonight.
That is the suggested bet for racing on Saturday out at Turffontein. Alistair, thanks very much. All the best, and have a wonderful weekend.
Yeah, thanks so much, Rahil. Same to you. We'll have the feet up this weekend, and we'll be watching racing and all the sport that comes our way, and I'm sure that you will be too if you're not up to much. So thanks so much to you and the team, and we'll catch up next week.
Best of luck with racing on Saturday out at the Big T.